How can I transcend all the problems of the world? All right, that is the question for today for number 104 on the list of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life. And welcome. If you'd like to get a free copy of my guide to the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life, just click the link in the description. I'll send that out to you for free. Also, if you'd like to freshen up your Tree of Life chops, just watch my video called Tree of Life, an Introduction. And that's about 10 minutes long. Should get you up to speed to the point where you're able to follow along easily with these videos. Okay, now today we're looking at number 104. Keep in mind again that the Tree of Life is, at least for the purposes of this exercise, is a map of our consciousness. And each one of these circles or spheres on the tree is an aspect of our consciousness, or a faculty of our consciousness, an ability of our consciousness. And there are 12 of them, numbered 0 through 10, plus the abyss right here. And so we have 12 major faculties of life. Now, today, for number 104, we're caught here in the third sphere. So that's where we're centered. That's where we're located for the context of this video, for this number 104. Now, what faculties does the third sphere occupy? Well, the third sphere is one of our divine faculties, 3, 2, and 1. Our divine faculties include, number 3, omnipotence. Number 2, omniscience. Number 1, omnipresence. Okay, so 3 is omnipotence, all-powerful. And all-powerful is one of our mostly dormant, but capable of being activated faculties of consciousness. We activate these faculties, this faculty, primarily through sound synchronization. We can use mantra, chanting mantra over and over, called japa. And we chant the syllables, alphabetical syllables, and then we ground it with an M or an NG at the end to plant the seed. And when we chant it over and over and over again at the right rhythm, with the right intervals, then we gradually are able to kind of get in the, vibe or the frequency of whatever syllable that represents. Each one of the syllables represents a different aspect of power. Okay, the words have meaning, and words can rhyme and convey metaphorical communication as well. Those are really two aspects or dimensions of language. But the more fundamental aspect of language is as power, not as meaning. An example of this is if you watch a tennis match where the person is trying to serve and they got to get a little bit of extra oomph into that serve. You can hear them being like, ugh! They can grunt a little bit, or when you're trying to get that little extra, or if you feel a great feeling of relaxation, then you're like, ah. These are uses of the alphabet as power, not meaning. Okay, and when we repeat those over and over again, we get into that vibe, and each one of the spheres on the tree corresponds to a different syllable, a different set of letters of the alphabet. For example, here the seventh sphere corresponds to KL, cling. So cling is what you would chant over and over if you have it in the proper rhythm to activate here the seventh sphere. So when we learn kind of the code here at the third sphere, we're able to activate each and every one of the other faculties of consciousness and beyond. And so, you know, we can use that again with the seventh sphere. At the top of the seventh sphere, we declare our secret mission in life to ourselves. We figure out what our higher calling is. And the third sphere, through this omnipotence, this using all the different, activating all the different spheres through mantra chanting or else some other kind of sound synchronization process, that enables us to fulfill our higher calling, to you know, do what we said we were going to do, what we set out to do. Okay, so that's really the third sphere. Now, the third sphere is one of the 12 aspects of consciousness, or 12 faculties of consciousness, major faculties. Now, to get from the 12 major faculties to the 144 fractal faculties, or minor faculties, well, what are we doing? We're taking the tree of life to the second power. So we're really taking the whole tree and shrinking it down and applying it to each sphere. So we're breaking down each sphere into its 12 faculties. So the third sphere is one of our 12 faculties, but that one faculty also breaks down into 12 more faculties. Okay, so 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, and so on is a total of 144 fractal faculties. So that's what we're doing. So each, so within the third sphere, there's a mini tree. And so within the third sphere, there's a mini 10th sphere, and a mini 9th sphere, a mini 8th sphere, and a mini 7th sphere, and so on. Now today, for number 104, this corresponds to a mini abyss inside of the third sphere. So we can imagine a whole tree on the third sphere, and the abyss, part of that, is what is represented here with number 104. Now, if you recall, the abyss has to do with our psychic powers. In particular, this has to do with magnetic charges, being able to respond to omens, which are external magnetic charges. When we step into the field of a magnet, we sense an omen, an anomalous occurrence, a synchronicity, recurring name or number or theme that strikes us as being very much beyond the realm of, you know, normal probability. It's very anomalous. And, you know, this has two different aspects: the psychic receptivity to be able to actually notice that anomaly and to be able to recognize that it's an important thing. And then the second part, that's the psychic receptivity. And then the psychic heat is the second aspect, which is our ability to actually act upon the omen. The omen will give us a course of action. And but that course of action will be difficult to take because it will require us to put ourselves out there. We have to exercise some courage in order to do that. And so that is the psychic heat, is the courage to be able to act upon the omen. So we are, and then, you know, there's also within the abyss, there is also the more exotic psychic powers, telekinesis and the teleportation and, you know, the bending of spoons and, you know, all of these exotic psychic powers, which are kind of off the main line of the psychic powers, but they also are included here in the abyss. So we imagine that within the greater context of this omnipotence of the third sphere. And that goes into this fractal number 104, called Deeper Recesses of the Mind. Stage number 104 is about the trick of mantra, which is to occupy the left brain with meaningless words, removing the primary obstruction to meditation, which is getting lost in verbal thinking, and enabling deep penetration into the subconscious toward the higher self. The left brain has nothing to work with because the words of mantra have no meaning. Other sound sync practices also seek to block out the talking mind. Difficulties in life are just tests or travails meant to draw the best out of us. If we know this, we can act with aplomb in the face of life's stiffest challenges. An ambivalent attitude toward pleasure and pain is cultivated through austerities, which can put us beyond suffering. If we can truly love not giving in to either pleasure or pain. Transcend the pressures and the pleasures. Transcending both is needed to go deeper into meditation, into the deeper recesses of the mind toward the higher self inside. We have the ability to concentrate on one thought for as long as is required. Deeper and deeper toward the superconscious at the center. Calmer and calmer waters are more and more transparent, so we can see deeper and deeper into the mind, carving out new pathways. Mantra is processed by the right side of the brain, while the left side is preoccupied with chanting. The right side of the brain becomes stimulated. When enough one-dimensional things, such as lines or waves, are stacked together to make it two-dimensional, giving it depth, like a plane as opposed to a line, electric becomes magnetic. Mind becomes matter. 1D is electric or words, and it becomes magnetic, 2D material or matter. Press out or de-excavate all of the meaning, which is really the electrons or the space of thinking, all of the meaning of thinking, which are the opaque waves. In japa, we're basically making all the waves stack together within less than 1 unit of space. When synchronized, all subsequent repeating and recurring waves can be embedded into the first one. If the words are all the same shape and the same duration, if they're all synchronized, they can be stacked, saving space. Pressure eliminates space. Chanting pumps up the pressure, pumps out the electrons, meaning the meaning, waves, leaving dense matter or full power. More space, less power, because power is 1 divided by space, and vice versa. So if we could eliminate all space, we could have infinite power. But we can't eliminate all space. We can eliminate all but 1 unit of space. We can go within 1 unit of space. There is only, within 1 unit of space, there is only time or matter. 1 unit of power is full power. We eliminate the space by aligning with the rhythm of the mantra. The words of the mantra have no meaning, so they fit within one unit of space in what's called the time region. Thought can be stilled with rote knowledge of the underlying structure, or total faith, which balances, then merges with wisdom. Calm locations in intersecting standing waves through stacking. If thought waves can be stilled, they can be made matter. Stilling the thought process and then staying awake is also key. Much clearer waters, much clearer idea now of what is needed, and a humility, probing into the deeper recesses of the mind. Stay strictly in sensations and investigate them, and sink into the deep recesses of the mind, wherein reside the shaping forces, contacted through the shape of the stacked mantras. Recurrence of the same complex waveform, same wavelength, the same shape, shapes our future. Once the wave stacks or stands. Linear motion creates a volume, and rotational motion creates a structure. Shape recognition, structure equals inverse volume, or the space region, 3D space within one unit of time, which is the space region, nuclear zone, where we have fields, magnetic charge fields. Structure comes first, then the sensation, then the visual thought, then the verbal thought is articulated. They all come at the same time, but we perceive them in that order. The structure comes first, then the sensation, then the visual thought, then the verbal thought. Sinking to the deeper recesses of the mind means a longer-term relationship with the divine, enabling longer-term possession, slowing down or stopping the pass-through between the divine and our consciousness. Quiet, calm places, external stillness within space. The chant, the drone, the hypnotic rhythm, stillness, standing stacked waves. Okay, that is number 104, the abyss, fractal within the third sphere. We'll have more to say about that, and we'll also have more to learn about that. It's a complicated subject. But that is number 104 on the list of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life. If you'd like to get that complete listing, remember, just click the link in the description. I'll send you out that free guide to the 144 fractal faculties. And stay tuned. I will be rolling out the next one, number 105, on this list by tomorrow. And we're moving along here. We're going to be doing some other subjects here coming up fairly soon. So thanks for sticking around, and thanks for paying attention to these videos. Thanks for your interest. Also, if you would like to donate to the project, my Cash App and Venmo links are also in the description. Otherwise, just stay tuned for future videos. Have a great day, and I hope to see you soon.